Yes, so I would like to start by saying a very big thank you to Dr. Patrick Essien for his vision of starting Molex Foundation. And I understand that the goal of Molex Foundation is to encourage the youth and to give back to society. So I'm happy to be a part of the mentorship session this time. My name is Dr. Kofi Brobbey, and I am currently in Finland. Yes, so I am going to tell you a bit about myself, about how I got to where I am, what I'm doing, and hopefully I can encourage you guys to learn hard and then find yourself also in very good positions in the future. Yes, so I'll start by telling you a bit about my childhood, how I grew up, and the kind of environment I was in. So I had a very humble and calm childhood. My mother was a secretary, and I remember that we had a provision store when I was young. So when I closed from school, I'll go to the provision store and sit there and try and help my mother sometimes. But of course, sometimes I run away and then go and play football with my friends, but it's normal. That's what children do, so it's normal. And I remember that when I was growing, we had a communication center, so I would just go and sit there and then help a bit when there was no one around there to take care of it. So it's very important to have responsibilities at home when you're a child. So it's normal. It's normal to have some responsibilities. Yes, and I also remember that my grandmother was a baker. So there were times when we used to go and carry firewood for the oven, you know. I remember that when I was in JSS, JHS 3, I was talking to my mother about what I want to do when I finish school, and she wanted me to be a doctor. And then I decided, yeah, it's not a bad idea. So I decided I'll be a doctor for her sake. Fortunately, I realized that the biology is not my strongest suit. I had more interest in physics and mathematics. So I decided that I'm going to be an engineer. But when I become an engineer, I want to go to the highest level and become a doctor in engineering. So for those of you who don't know, you can be a doctor, but you can be doctor in many things. You can be an academic doctor. Of course, you can be a medical doctor, but you can also be an academic doctor. You can be a doctor of science, maybe physics, maybe chemistry. You can also be a doctor in arts, doctor in music, doctor in sociology, psychology. So it depends on where your interests are. So you need to be able to identify that, okay, these are my strengths, and my strength is in maybe agriculture. So I want to study something related to agriculture. It's very important to know your interests, because when you know your interests, you enjoy what you are doing. Every day is like enjoyment for you. In your case, you guys are now growing up. There's so much for you to learn. There's physics, there's math, there's chemistry, there's biology. I like STEM education, so I'll encourage you to do STEM, but all the other courses are also very good. Most important thing is that whatever course you find yourself doing, do it very well. Put in your best in everything that you find yourself doing. Yes, so after my university education, I got the chance to study in Finland. I got a scholarship, so I took my studies quite seriously. And in this scholarship, I got a master's degree, and I got another scholarship to do my PhD. So after the PhD, I got the title of a doctor. Yes. So after that, I worked a bit in some few companies, and I decided to come back home and then work in Ghana and help to impart the knowledge that I have obtained over the years. So you have to know what you want. And when you know what you want, you know exactly what it takes to get there. So at this point, I'm hoping that you guys are already thinking about what kind of career you want to do. Yes, maybe you want to be a nurse, maybe you want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer, maybe you want to be maybe a telecom engineer, different kinds of things. There's so many things. Maybe you want to be a teacher, maybe you want to be a farmer. All those are options. Yes. There are a few points I need you to take note of. Number one, you need to be very disciplined. You need to be very hardworking and dedicated. And more importantly, you need to know your strengths. You have to follow your heart, follow your passion, know what you want to do in this world, and identify it from the onset. And once you identify it, put in a lot of effort to make sure that you succeed in what you're going to do. When you have identified what you want to do, you can always get help from people who have already succeeded in that. So, for example, maybe you want to be a lawyer. You just take your time and identify a lawyer in your neighborhood and let him or her be your mentor. Let them teach you what it means to be a lawyer. Let them teach you how hard you have to work and the right way to get there as a lawyer. Usually, it is easier to get advice from people who have been able to do what you want to do. Otherwise, you might make a lot of mistakes along the line. The benefit of having a mentor is that you don't have to repeat mistakes that other people have made along the line. And this is very important because it shortens the path to success for you because you get to learn from other people's mistakes. Yes, for me personally, I love teaching. So from a very early age, I decided I wanted to be a teacher. So then when I was in university, I realized that the criteria to become a teacher had changed. So you had to earn a PhD, become a doctor before you can be a teacher in the university. So at that point, I told myself that this is what I want to do and I want to dedicate myself to it. So I put in my very best effort to get to that point. And so far, it has worked very well for me. I am happy about the achievements so far. The point here is that everybody can do it. You can do it. I have been able to do it, and you can do it. My background is a very normal background, nothing extraordinary, very simple. The only thing was that I got the opportunity to go to school, and all of you have this opportunity. So make very good use of it. So when I got this opportunity, I did the best I could every time. So it gets to a point where talent is necessary, but also with hard work, you can push and then get to the place that you want to get to. So I always encourage people and students to work very hard because once you work hard, everything is achievable. Many of you are thinking what you're going to do with your lives. So my advice to you would be find your passion. What do you love? What do you enjoy? And when you figure it out, get some advice from someone who has been able to do it and do your best, and you will be successful. Yes, so I have a few key messages for you today, and the first point of my message for you is It doesn't matter where you are coming from. You might be living in a single room with all your family. It doesn't matter. The point is that what do you want to do with your life? How far do you want to go in the future? You need to identify that thing that you want to do. And when you figure it out, commit to it. Do your best. Work hard. Get good advice from people who can give you good advice. Next thing is that it is very important to be disciplined and dedicated. So there's this rule called the 10,000 hour rule. And this rule says that if you want to be an expert in anything, take your time, dedicate 10,000 hours to that thing, and then do it consistently. After 10,000 hours, you should have gained the needed experience, expertise to be an expert in that thing. So don't give up. Be dedicated and disciplined. And keep trying and never give up. We have to show account for what we have done. So sometimes don't be distracted about the things happening around you. You have to be able to stay focused. When you set your mind to something, that I'm going to do this, yes, focus on it and you can do it. I remember that in my high school, I was one of the worst students in chemistry. And today I have a PhD in chemical engineering. Very interesting. So sometimes you don't understand something, but just take your time, give it time, and then keep trying. Keep trying. Never give up. You'll get there. And now that you guys are in high school, about to go to senior high school, I would like to advise and recommend that today the world has changed and technical and vocational education is a very important part of nation building. In fact, when you get the chance to go outside, you realize that people like electricians, welders, plumbers, they make very good living. The same money as those who are working in the universities, almost the same. Now, the system we have in Ghana is changing, and there's a lot of emphasis on technical and vocational education. So I encourage those of you who are skilled. So if you have any handiwork, like maybe sewing, for example, is a very good skill. It's not only about sewing, and when you decide to do something, don't look at what other people are doing around you. Focus and become very good at what you want to do. And then be imaginative. Think about how big you want it to be. So, for example, someone who is interested in sewing, we buy a lot of clothes that are ready made. You could end up starting your own company to make clothes that are ready made for people. So, this is an option. So, the point is, it really doesn't matter what you do, find what you love. And when you love something, dedicate yourself, become very good at it. And when you become very good at it, you have the opportunity to dream and dream big. So, for example, if you decide to be a plumber, for example, you don't have to settle and be a roadside plumber. Go to school, enroll in technical education, get the certification and the skills and the knowledge. And after that, you can start your own big company that offers plumbing services. And you can even employ a lot of people. And the other good thing is that today the system has changed. So even with technical and vocational education, you can study in the technical education and still become a doctor, as some of us are. So in the past, you had to go to university and do maybe arts or chemistry and physics to become a doctor there in that field. Today, it is possible for you to do technical education. You can decide you want to do BTech, and through BTech, become a doctor of BTech. So these are all options that are available. If you're interested in catering, think big. Dream big. For example, when people are traveling, they go with the flights, international flights, and these flights, they provide food on board. So you can start your own catering company that makes food for airlines, right? So it's about figuring out what you want, dedicate yourself to it, and dream big. Dream big. When you dream big and you work hard towards it, success is possible. Yeah, so you notice that I was talking about uh, an entrepreneurship and having your own business. The truth is that now money is not only in the office. In fact, if you want to be wealthy, you need to think about having your own business. And to have your own business, you need to have a unique idea. And when you have the unique idea, you need to have the knowledge to develop that idea into something big. So that is where the school, the education comes in. So you need to educate yourself in whatever you want to be successful at. And when you do it diligently, you will be successful. Now, I would like to end by telling you that it does not matter where you are coming from, because if we were held back by where we were coming from, most of us would never have gotten to where we are now. So don't focus on your current circumstances. If you look at the current circumstances, you might be discouraged. Think about what kind of future that you want for yourself. Think about what kind of life you want to live. Ask yourself, what do you have to do to get there? And once you have identified what you need to do to get there, work hard at it. It will be difficult, but don't give up. And when it gets difficult, we are always here to support you. That is why you need to have mentors who you can look up to, people who can advise you and give you encouragement when things get a bit difficult. There are a lot of scholarship opportunities for you to study within the country and also outside. So as you are growing up, as you are choosing what career you want to major in, you need to also think about where you want to study and how you want to study, especially if financially you don't have the means. There's a Get Fund scholarship secretariat that has scholarship from different countries. And these are all options. In my case, without the scholarships, I may not have made it this far. Okay, so keep your mind open about studying in Ghana and out of Ghana. But at the same time, you should know that Ghana is our motherland, and no matter how far away we go, we will always come back home. And when we come back, we always have to give back to society. Yes, so I am very happy I got the chance to encourage and motivate you to take your studies seriously, to identify your passions and what you love and what you want to do. And I encourage you to do it and do it well. And if you need help, we are here to advise and guide you. So I wish you guys all the best and I wish you success in the future. Bye bye.